Bob winces in pain as you clean the cut on his arm. Sorry, you mumbled. Oh, it's fine, he replied. You let out a small sigh. What happened anyways? You asked him. Well, someone eventually caught up to my tricks and, he replied, his voice trailing off. Tricks? Oh, you mean staring at people that's going to do you wrong to imitate them, he replied. He nodded his head. Who was it? You asked. There's no need to. You cut him off. Bob, they hurt you. So who is it? Or who were they? You told him as you looked at him with a serious facial expression. He blushes and looks away, avoiding eye contact. It was Jeff, he mumbled. Jeff? That porn-watching son of a bitch. I swear I will tackle him and burst his kneecaps. You grit your teeth. Bob flinches at your sudden raise of voice. Oh, sorry. You apologize as you notice that Bob had flinched from your reaction. The Jeff from chapter 19, lol. There, it's finished, you told him as you finished tending his wounds. Did he hurt you anywhere else? You asked. He quickly nodded his head. You raised an eyebrow as you noticed that his ear turned red. Bob, are you telling the truth? You asked him. He paused, but slowly nodded his head. His ears turned redder. You let out a sigh. All right, show me it, you told him. Huh? He spoke out, confused. Bob, I know you're lying. Your ears are red. You pointed at his red ears. His eyes widened as he quickly covered his ears. Come on, I want to help you, all right? You assured him. He slowly looked at you and mumbled something that you didn't hear. What? You asked. It's on my... He replied. On your what? You asked. On my belly. He spoke out. Your eyes widened. You didn't expect him to shout it out. His face turned red in embarrassment as he quickly hid his face into a pillow. Well, you know what that means. Take off your shirt. We're going to do it here, you told him. I what? Do it here? He stuttered. I'm going to take care of your wounds right here, right now, you told him, pausing before slowly removing his shirt. His face resembled a tomato over how red his face was. He was so embarrassed. As soon as he removed his shirt, you noticed something purple on his stomach. It was a bruise. He let out a small gasp as you quickly looked for an ice pack. As soon as you found an ice pack, you soon went to Bob and gently placed the ice pack on his stomach. Just keep that still for about 10 to 20 minutes, you told him. You were about to grab something, but as you were headed there, you tripped on air. You were cut off by Bob getting up and quickly catching you. When he catched you, the two of you had stared at each other for a moment. You were about to say something, but you were cut off by the door sliding open. But when you walked in by every night, taking sweet and looking... Blake was cut off by the sight of you two. Blake, hold on. This isn't... You were cut off by him. I don't get paid enough for this shit. Blake spoke out as he let out a sight and closed the door. You soon got out of Bob's grasp. You quickly got up to chase Blake. Blake! You shouted as you got out of the infirmary and started to chase Blake. Blake, stop misunderstanding things, you shouted. Blake stopped in his tracks and rolled his eyes. Yin, this is your fifth. I don't know. I lost count. Your fifth guy? I can't believe I'm raising a horny dog. You cut him off by smacking his shoulder. Ow, what the fuck was that for? Blake glared at you. I was just tending his wounds. Stop jumping to conclusions. You rolled your eyes. You're going to clean the infirmary, right? Just go do it, you added. Ew, no. I don't want to be your third wheel. I have standards, Blake replied. Stop being so dramatic and just do it, Dad, you told him. Blake soon started to mumble something, but he followed you back to the infirmary. As soon as Blake got inside the infirmary, he took a better look at Bob, who was sitting on the bed with an ice pack on his stomach. What's his name? Blake whispered in your ear. Bob, you whispered back. Blake soon got confused. Bob? I don't remember coding any extra name Bob. Who is he? Wait, don't tell me. Blake's thoughts were cut off by your phone ringing. Oh, hello, Kojiro? Yeah, I called you. I need to tell you something, you told Kojiro on the phone. You soon left the infirmary to tell him what you were about to say, with Blake and Bob alone in the room. There was awkward silence, an awkward and uncomfortable atmosphere. Blake soon stared at Bob. Bob was a tall and slightly muscular boy. He had brown messy hair and dark brown eyes were covered with his bangs. He looked like a hentai report. Blake found him a little bit familiar, but he didn't point out on who Bob was. I swear I saw this model before. Is Bob really his name? Blake thought as Bob felt uncomfortable by his stare. Time skip. Wow, I'm fucked, you spoke out as you stared at the other students doing push-ups. Today was the next day, meaning new sufferings. Sir Kokoshibo is already absent, but he never forgets to give us something to do, he mumbled. You know he wouldn't let us slack off, Michiro commented. You turned to Michiro, who was still in his uniform and wasn't in his PE uniform. Why are you not in your PE uniform yet? You asked him. Kokoshi... Oh my god. Sorry, I was listening to something and it got really loud, so sorry. Sir Kokoshibo isn't... Okay, he replied. Well, shit, he got there first, you thought. You didn't reply and soon continued to watch the other students. Some were playing basketball in the gym while some were playing soccer on the field, while the ones who were actually following Kokoshibo's instructions were doing push-ups. You and Michiro were outside, on the field, while you were focused on watching your surroundings. Michiro stared at you. Michiro had this soft feeling that he gets every time he sees you. Michiro then stares at you, trying to solve what this feeling is. You then felt like someone was staring at you or watching you. You looked around to see Michiro, who was unbothered whether you catched him staring at you or not. Is there something on my face? You asked him. He shook his head. Well, is there something wrong? You asked him again. He was about to open his mouth to say something, but a student cut him off. Yin, why are you slacking off? Sir Kokoshibo told us to do push-ups, so you'll have to suffer with us. A student spoke out. What? Fine. I'll show you guys how push-ups are supposed to be done. You confidently told them while doing a sassy hair flip. Beatrice slowly left the scene as the students hadn't noticed him yet. I'll just go to the canteen and stay there for an hour, he thought. As he headed to the canteen, his curiosity and thoughts were still on what the soft feeling he felt for you was. He soon arrived at the canteen. A vending machine soon caught his eye. The vending machine had your favorite snack in it. Should I buy her some? He mumbled. As he was thinking about whether to buy it or not, he overheard a conversation. Oh my god, did you watch the latest episode of... My god, why is this so long? Of My Hot Sexy Poppy Daddy Dilf that is packing that I had a one-night stand with is actually my fiance because I'm the daughter of a rich mafia criminal lord is now in love with me. We now plan to have 3 children. The latest episode is so sweet. McDaddy found out that sweet, soft, the tingly feeling that canned scenes give him, a student commented. The one where he found out that soft feeling McDaddy felt is actually love. I screamed without in my joy in that scene. Her friend replied, cream? You creamed a TMIS. Now I'm traumatized, the student replied while letting out a disgusted facial expression. I was baking a cake. I was like making the cream thingy. You know my mommy is a baker, so I just helped her. Her friend defended herself. Anything, that scene was so beautiful, the student commented. Michiro froze. Soft feeling? Love? He thought. That means I'm in love, he mumbled. It's so obvious, like Kenzie does nothing. Big Daddy's heart goes crazy, her friend commented. Heart? Go crazy? You mean I'm not sick? That means I don't have to go to the doctor anymore? He thought. It's really adorable. He found out he's in love. The student replied. I'm in love? With Yin? Michio thought, confused. Do you remember that scene where McDaddy was walking around the store and was reminded of Mackenzie when his eyes laid upon her favorite snack? He even bought it and gave it to her. How sweet! Her friend commented. Michio's eyes widened. That's what he was going to do right now. He was buying the snack in the vending machine because it reminded him of you. And since it was her favorite snack, he was about to buy it. I'm in love. His heart beat faster at the thought. Guys, there's a fight, a student shouted. Everyone from the canteen turned their heads like a bunch of hungry hyenas who found their prey. Who? Another student asked. Yin and Jeff, the student yelled. Michio's eyes widened as he quickly headed to where the fight was. Flashback. You know what? Fine. I'll show you guys how push-ups are supposed to be done, you confidently told them while doing a sassy hair flip. Everyone knows you're bad at sports, a student commented. She's only good at being a slut, another one giggled. You rolled your eyes. Shut it, bitch. Don't think I see you and your boyfriend eating each other's faces on the rooftop. Ugh, disgusting. You clapped back. Ew, are you a stalker? The student gasped. Kojo and I monitored the school grounds from time to time. He also saw that disgusting scene, he replied. The student then shut up. You were about to do your push-ups, but a familiar face caught your eyes. You focused on the figure and soon noticed that it was that porn-watching asshole, Jeff. You quickly jumped to him. Jeff, you fucking asshole, you shouted as you jumped him, tackling him to the ground. Everyone around you let a gasp. What the fuck? What the fuck is your problem? He was cut off by you pulling his hair. Ow, 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 he shouted in pain. Everyone watched in amusement. Some pulled out their phones and started recording, while some of them were chanting, Holy shit, the girls are fighting, a student shouted. He's getting beaten up by the vice president, another one shouted. Flashback end. As Michio arrived at the scene, you were landing punches on Jeff, while Jeff lands some on you as well, but Michio didn't feel a usual soft feeling he felt when he sees you. Instead, he was feeling something the opposite of the soft feeling. Anger. Could Jeff just stand there and let Yin beat him up? Does he have to hurt her too? Michio thought as he walked over to where the commotion was. Michio went past the crowd. You were too focused on fighting to even notice that Michio was behind you. Without a second to waste, he grabbed you and pulled you closer to him. It happened so fast, you didn't have the time to react. Jeff was about to land a hit, but Michio stopped him. That's enough, you incannibal. Get lost, Michio told him. What? She started it. Stop hiding from your knight in shining armor, Yin, Jeff told you. You were about to say something, but Michio's grip on you tightened. It was a sign that you should just shut your mouth. Michio only gave him a mocking smirk. Jeff grit his teeth and landed a punch on Michio's cheek. You let a gasp and was ready to fight again, but you were stopped by a loud voice. What is the commotion going on out here, huh? A familiar voice yelled. You look around to see Gitaru. For fuck's sake, Kokoshibo is just gone for a day, and there's already World War III during PE time. He sighed and gritted his teeth. Some of the students quickly left while some moved to show you, Michio, and Jeff. He raises an eyebrow. Well, Jeff, who the hell do you think you are punching your classmates out of the blue? He asked as he witnessed Jeff punch Michio. Jeff was about to say something, but Michio cut him off. He started punching Yin and I out of nowhere. We punched back in defense, Michio lied. Your eyes widened. What? No, she started it. Jeff defended himself. Do you think I'm blind? I saw it with my own 2 eyes. You punched him first, Gitaro told Jeff. Am I right or wrong? Gitaro grumbled at all the students. Right, sir. Everyone mumbled. You two go to the infirmary, and you, Jeff, you're coming with me. You better get ready. You're heading straight to the Muzon's office, he told you 3. Jeff gulped in fear. Time skip. Michio winced in pain as you applied alcohol to his cheek, where Jeff landed his punch. Sorry, you mumbled. Why didn't you dodge it anyways, to make him seal his fate that he wouldn't get punished? You added. He nodded his head. How are you feeling? Did he hurt you anywhere else? He asks. I'm fine. I didn't get any critical hits, but his stomach on you was really hard. You commented. Michiru only stared at you, not caring whether it made you uncomfortable. For him, love isn't a crime, but his interests are. They're finished, you commented, as you threw the cotton balls and tissues you used into the trash can. Why did you pick a fight with him anyways? Michiru asked. Well, he beat up Bob for no reason, you replied. So, you did it for Bob? He asked as he feels jealousy at the pit of his stomach. He deserved it. He's an asshole anyways, you commented. Michiru didn't reply. You then caressed his cheek. You let out a pout. You shouldn't have done that, you commented, as he felt guilty for the injury that was left on his face. He then touches the hand you were used to caress his cheek. He let your warm hand stay on his cheek. You were a little surprised by his actions. He then let out a small smile. I don't have any regrets, Yin, he reassures you. Your smile is beautiful, Moo, you commented while letting out a small chuckle. Really? Then I should smile more often around you, he mumbled, the last sentence as he tightens his grip on your hand. A clingy and possessive lover in the making. Chapter 62. Bob, I need to put some salt in this soup, you commented. He nodded his head as you did as you told him. What were you doing? Well, you were cooking a dish along with Bob and Michiru since it was a project in cooking class. Daki carefully monitored all of the students. Moo, I need you to take care of the meat, you told him. He nodded his head and did what he was told. As Michiru does what you told him, he couldn't help but stare at you, not caring whether you mind or not. Oh dear, my precious, Michiru thought as he watched you chop the vegetables. Yin, I accidentally put more salt. Bob says. You fucking donkey, Michiru shouted. Sorry, chef, Bob stutters. You know what? I'll switch places. I'll take care of the soup. You take care of the meat, Michiru told Bob. Bob nodded his head and bowed to apologize to him. Yes, chef, Bob replied. What the fuck is this Hell's Kitchen? You mumbled. Anyway, Bob, it's all right. Just take care of the meat. Moo will save the soup, he reassured him. Bob only nodded his head in response. He looked down in disappointment. I'm just being an extra baggage, he thought. You soon noticed that Bob had an upset facial expression. You walked up to him and patted the back to comfort him. He looks at you with a shocked facial expression. You gave him a small smile, to which he blushed and looked away. While the interact happened, Michiru was there, watching. Bobby usually gets embarrassed. Well, I hope it's just embarrassment. You, and not that he likes her, Michiru thought as he stared at the two of you. Time skip. You let out a small sigh. Life fucks me every day, but I never made me orgasm, you mumbled as you stared under a tree. You were at the garden of the school, waiting for Blake. Ugh, I swear, if he forgot and it's actually with Docky right now, I swear I will. You spoke out as you soon stared, mumbling curses. You just finished cooking with Michiru and Bob. After that, you had science, so you were a little tired. It was break time, and you and Blake would always hang out during that since the 3 best boys were busy with their respective clubs. Soon a deep, familiar voice spoke out. Ian, You turn around to see Bob. "Oh, hey, Bob." You gave him a small smile. "Come here, sit next to me," you told him as you patted the empty spot. He nodded his head and soon sat next to you. He then handed you a chocolate bar. Your eyes widened. "What was what is this for?" you excitedly asked him. It's an apology for earlier since I nearly ruined your soup," he replied. "I also gave Michiro chocolate and he forgave me," he added. "Bob, it's fine, all right. Moo is a little bit blunt, but you don't have to go this far," you told him as you gave him the chocolate. "Please, please, please insist that you need to give me the chocolate. Please, please, please. I just want to look like a decent human being, and that's why I give it back," you thought as you wished that he insisted and gave you the chocolate. "No, I insist," he told you as he gives you the chocolate bar. You couldn't help but hide your smile. "Oh well, I guess I'll have to eat it," you commented as you gladly took a bite of the chocolate. "Wow, chocolate never fails to give me happiness," you commented. That's because when we eat sweet food, the brain rewinds symptoms called the, oh my god, mescaline like dopamine system that activates. Dopamine is the brain chemical released by neurogens and can signal that an event was positive. When the reward system fires, it reforms behavior, making it more likely for us to carry out these actions again, Bob replied. He stared at him, not understanding a word he just said. "Sorry," he mumbled. "No, it's fine. I just didn't understand a word you just said," you chuckled. "Ian," a familiar voice spoke out. You look around to find Blake. He then noticed that Bob was right next to you. "Oh, you're here too," he commented. Bob only bowed his head a little in response. I still can't find out who this boy is," Blake thought.